Beneath the cold quiet night air of the Victorian era, Maria Mitchell climbed the narrow attic ladder all alone in an age when women were confined to long heavy dresses, trivial household chores, and the limited boundaries of domestic life. She built a quiet bridge leading straight to the boundless cosmos upon her rooftop. Tonight, bathed in the soft gentle glow of flickering hearth fire, we step into the tender persistent life of this devoted star guardian within this slow unrushed story that asks for no hurried memory. You will hear the distant rhythm of ocean waves and the faint soft whisper of stars gliding silently across the dark night sky. Close your eyes and let Maria's gentle life journey guide you, drifting slowly into a vast pure deep blue dream woven from starlight and calm. She never regarded herself as a rare genius or an extraordinary talent. She was simply a quiet observer who chose to gaze up at the starry sky a little longer than everyone else. Maria Mitchell, the remarkable female astronomer who discovered a brand new comet and spent her entire life as a steadfast, dedicated mentor, enduring long years of neglect and quiet marginalization. Her life holds no fierce conflict, dramatic struggle, or loud confrontation, only the lasting stillness, quiet grace, and steady radiance of a fixed eternal star. This is far more than a simple chapter in the history of astronomy. It is a peaceful spiritual journey, teaching every wandering soul how to settle calmly in loneliness and find inner peace amid quiet solitude. Sink into low soothing narration and wander alongside Maria beneath the pale cold moonlight of the 19th century, slipping gently into quiet rest and peaceful sleep. How do you define true freedom? For Maria Mitchell, freedom never lay in material wealth, social status, or worldly praise. It resided entirely within the boundless unfolding star charts and the endless silent stretch of the night sky. This heartfelt tale leads us down a long peaceful road to the quiet island of Nantucket in the 1800s, where the soft air carries the mixed gentle scent of salty sea breeze and old whale oil. We witness the brave journey of one resolute woman and the generations of young female students who followed her as they reclaimed the simple sacred right to gaze upward at the stars within a rigid society bound by strict rules, prejudice, and outdated tradition. This gentle narrative is crafted for every weary heart seeking peace, comfort, and quiet relief in the stillness of night. Let Maria Mitchell's quiet perseverance, soft resolve, and unyielding passion for the stars weave into a soothing, lulling melody, guarding your mind, calming your worries, and accompanying you into deep, undisturbed sleep. Picture a cool, crisp autumn night in 1847 where the soft sea wind of Nantucket Island swept gently over sloped rooftops and quiet residential streets. Every household across the small coastal town had long blown out their candles and faded into deep peaceful sleep. Only one lone woman remained standing quietly in the high attic space atop her family's banking building. In her hand she held a small, simple refracting telescope, handcrafted with careful patience together with her beloved father. In that restrictive historical era, women were even barred from openly studying mathematics, reading advanced academic books, or exploring natural science. Yet she stood firm in the darkness, carefully observing a faint, unfamiliar glowing speck unrecorded on any official star chart of her time. In that silent, pivotal moment, Maria Mitchell could never have imagined that this faint twinkling glimmer in the night sky would earn her a prestigious gold medal awarded by the King of Denmark, and permanently rewrite the marginalized position of women within the global scientific community. Her name was Maria Mitchell, a gentle, thoughtful soul who spent her life seeking perfect order between the endless rolling ocean and the silent, distant stars. Tonight, accompanied by the soft, steady flicker of warm hearth firelight, we walk slowly through this tender, unburdened tale and explore the true, gentle depth of her extraordinary life. This is a moving story of how one determined heart expanded a narrow, confined reality to embrace the infinite vastness of the entire universe. Relax your shoulders, steady your breathing, and let your thoughts drift freely alongside that unnamed, newly discovered comet gliding smoothly across the profound dark blue night sky. The first day of October in 1847 began as just another ordinary quiet night within the long, steady rhythm of Maria Mitchell's daily life. For 20 full years she had served faithfully as the librarian of the small local island library, her simple, modest occupation the only recognized social identity granted to her by the narrow-minded community. Most of her spare time away from library work was spent quietly behind the lens of her small 2-inch telescope, waiting patiently for rare celestial changes and subtle movements in the night sky. On that particular autumn night she spotted a faint, blurry, hazy spot near the constellation Ursa Major. Unlike fixed, stable stars that shone with unchanging light, this strange faint glow carried a tentative, misty, floating quality filled with gentle uncertainty. Maria's first reaction was never excitement, joy, or triumphant delight. Instead it was deep, cautious self-doubt and quiet hesitation. She cross-referenced countless printed star charts over and over, carefully calibrated her telescope lenses repeatedly, and double-checked every detail of her observation. In an age with no rapid communication, no instant messaging, and no fast shared academic networks, profound solitude remained her only constant companion and silent witness. She once wrote softly in her private diary that the path of scientific learning was wrapped in such deep unbroken stillness that one could often hear the clear steady beat of their own heart echoing in the quiet emptiness. It was this quiet resilience, forged through long hours of lonely observation and patient research, that led her to trust objective data, careful calculation, and factual evidence over blind faith, hasty judgment, or impulsive excitement. She never rushed to publish her groundbreaking discovery or announce her rare finding to the outside world. Instead, she continued observing patiently for several consecutive nights, recording its slow trajectory, tracking its subtle movement, and confirming beyond doubt that this glowing body was no atmospheric illusion, no visual fatigue or fleeting natural optical phenomenon, but a genuine undiscovered celestial body. When this remarkable cosmic object later became widely recognized across the world, known respectfully as Miss Mitchell's comet, the quiet, hard-working woman from the small sea-bound island continued her ordinary daily routine, quietly organizing books, mending shelves, and tending to library duties in her faded, simple linen dress. This gentle restraint in the face of remarkable achievement, this humble calm in the wake of historic discovery, carries a timeless weight far more powerful than momentary celebration and fleeting fame. Maria Mitchell's lifelong solitude grew from the heavy oppressive pressure and rigid limitation of her historical era. Victorian society firmly confined women to the gentle, delicate role of the angel of the home. Society expected women to master delicate embroidery, elegant piano music, and domestic management, rather than grasp cold brass scientific instruments, peer into distant cosmic space, or engage in rigorous logical research. Yet Maria was raised within an extraordinary, open-minded Quaker household, a family that deeply believed in the equal worth, equal intelligence, and equal spiritual potential of every soul, regardless of gender. Her father guided her with gentle wisdom, telling her plainly that if the stars spoke their silent universal language to men, they would surely share their ancient secrets and quiet beauty with women as well. While other young girls of her age twirled gracefully at elegant social dances and pursued trivial fashionable pastimes, Maria stood alone on the salty, windswept shores of Nantucket Island, measuring the moon's changing elevation, studying celestial movement, and tracing the quiet logic of the night sky. Within the quiet corners of the town library, she absorbed complex mathematical theories and advanced astronomical writings from great scholars such as Laplace, like a sponge gathering knowledge hungrily, even when such profound learning held no social value, no practical advantage, and no recognition within traditional female social circles. She often felt like a soul displaced by time, trapped within the narrow, cramped space of her small attic, while her heart wandered freely among the sweeping spiral arms of the distant Milky Way. Her solitude was never cold, desolate, or sorrowful. It was a pure, refined tranquility, clear and serene, like a frozen lake resting peacefully beneath the quiet stillness of a winter night. She learned to coexist gracefully with long hours of quiet waiting, embracing empty, ordinary nights with no new celestial phenomena, no rare astronomical events, and no remarkable discoveries, cultivating sharp observation, sensitive perception, and a calm, focused mind amid prolonged stillness. This inner strength, quietly accumulated through years of solitary reflection, granted her unmatched tenderness, unshakable resolve, and gentle, unwavering courage when she later stepped forward to guide generations of young, eager female students at Vassar College. After rising to unexpected international fame through her comet discovery, Maria chose a quiet, unexpected path that surprised her countless contemporaries, dedicating the next chapter of her life to education and nurturing young minds. In 1865, Vassar College was officially founded, standing as one of the first genuine higher education institutions for women across the entire United States. Maria was invited to take up the position of astronomy professor, bringing with her the most advanced 12-inch telescope of that era, and settling into the college brand new observatory. She carried far more than precise scientific instruments and professional astronomical knowledge. Into this new role she introduced an unconventional, deeply meaningful rule that shocked mainstream society, requiring all her female students to rise at 2 o'clock in the morning, wrap themselves in thick warm coats, and step into the cold night air to observe the clearest, most delicate celestial phenomena hidden within the quiet late-night sky. Public opinion of that time reacted with shock and fierce criticism, claiming that late-night vigilance, cold night air, and exhausting overnight observation would damage young girls' complexions, ruin their health, and destroy their delicate, fragile constitution. Yet Maria held firm to her belief, responding calmly that she cared nothing for superficial appearance, rosy cheeks, or fragile vanity. Her only sincere concern was whether these young women could open Their eyes broaden their minds and witness eternal unchanging truth hidden within the vast darkness of the universe beneath the rounded dome of the college observatory. Maria was no longer merely a lonely isolated stargazer watching the heavens alone. She became a gentle spiritual guide, a nurturing maternal force, inspiring, empowering and uplifting every young woman under her guidance. She led her students to observe the magnificent rings of Saturn, record subtle dark sunspots dancing across the sun's surface, and even traveled across most of the United States alongside her pupils simply to witness the breathtaking rare beauty of a total solar eclipse within the simple old observatory filled with the faint smell of machine oil, cold night air and quiet intellectual curiosity. A brand new powerful female community slowly took shape. Every careful mark they drew on star charts, every detailed record they made of planetary movement, and every late night hour they spent studying the cosmos stood as a silent powerful declaration proving that female minds were fully capable of understanding, grasping and embracing the overwhelming vastness of the universe. This soft persistent pursuit of the unknown, this gentle reverence for cosmic mystery wove unique female empathy, delicate perception and poetic warmth into cold rational physical data, transforming rigid scientific observation into a heartfelt spiritual dialogue between humanity and the stars. Maria Mitchell's entire life unfolded as a gentle steady struggle for visibility, dignity and equal worth, waged with quiet wisdom and graceful restraint. After teaching at Vassar College for many years, she slowly uncovered harsh, unfair reality. Her salary remained less than half the payment awarded to male professors of the same rank and equal professional standing. Faced with this blatant gender prejudice and unreasonable, unequal treatment, Maria never shouted in anger, lashed out in rage or stirred up noisy conflict. Instead, she responded with the calm rational logic of a dedicated scientist. Submitting a formal gentle resignation letter, she stated clearly that she sought no charitable sympathy, no special favor or compassionate allowance. She demanded only basic honest recognition. If observational data, scientific research and cosmic truth held no gender division, then professional remuneration, fair treatment and academic respect should never be divided by gender either. This silent, firm resistance eventually forced the college authorities to compromise and meet her reasonable requests, laying a solid foundational cornerstone of equal rights and fair treatment for all female scholars and female researchers. In the generations that followed, in her private daily life, Maria continued to embrace the simple, modest frugality and quiet restraint rooted in her Quaker faith. She loved planting delicate flowers in the small, quiet garden behind the observatory, often sharing her thoughtful insight that the orderly arrangement of blooming petals and the graceful rotating movement of distant galaxies followed the same perfect mathematical laws of balance and harmony. She rarely attended noisy, crowded social gatherings or empty, vanity-driven banquets, preferring to spend her quiet late nights writing warm, heartfelt letters to her aging father back on Nantucket Island, sharing small, precious moments of astronomical discovery and describing the faint shadow of distant planets she had captured through her telescope. Walking gently on the outer edges of fame, reputation and worldly success while standing firm at the core of her professional career and scientific mission, she shone as a clear, steady light amid the noisy, chaotic Victorian era. Her life journey perfectly proved that a woman's inner vitality, spiritual strength and lifelong passion could burn as brightly and enduringly as distant stars, sustaining constant, gentle, radiant warmth through quiet inner power and steady self-driven perseverance even within the longest, darkest nights. In 1889, Maria Mitchell passed away peacefully in her gentle sleep, and on the day of her quiet departure the night sky remained calm and unchanged, with no rare celestial events, no unusual stellar movement and no grand cosmic spectacle to mark the loss of a great mind. Returning to the quiet question raised in the soft opening of this story, what precious treasure and profound truth did Maria seek and finally find between the endless rolling ocean and the silent eternal stars? She found an unyielding, unbreakable sense of self, a pure independent identity defined by her own passion, persistence and pursuit rather than limited social rules, gender boundaries or worldly expectations. Today, whenever we gaze up at the bright summer triangle, trace the steady guiding light of the North Star on cold winter nights, or wander beneath the sprawling unending dome of the night sky, we may pause to remember the quiet, solitary figure lingering in a small attic devoted to watching the stars. She reminded every generation that even if life confines you to a remote, isolated island or a narrow, cramped small room, one simple upward gaze is enough to claim ownership of the entire boundless universe. Eternal universal truth never rejects any soul based on gender, status, origin or circumstance. It waits patiently in profound stillness only for those willing to stand a little longer in the cold embrace of night, hold fast to quiet curiosity and keep searching with gentle, unwavering resolve. The Night has grown deep and soft distant starlight drifts through thick layers of mist and time finally settling quietly upon the exact celestial coordinates Maria once observed and cherished throughout her life sinks slowly into peaceful relaxation within the power of her quiet persistence releasing all daily worries trivial troubles and restless thoughts drifting down into a deep serene blue dream guarded gently by countless quiet watching stars. May your dreams be blessed with clear eyes able to pierce through dark clouds confusion and doubt and a soft gentle persistent spirit to light your quiet path through every long lonely night. Good night.